Hare Krishna. A warm welcome to all of you for today's GITA live session. The topic for the day is how to start or begin our day. The way we begin our day, there's a saying, well begun is half done. So it is very important that we start our day with early morning victory. We start the day in a right way so that throughout the day it is a good, pleasant and a positive day. A lot depends on how we go about starting our day. So before we get into the discussion, let us all chant few prayers together. Let's seek the blessings of Srila Prabhupada, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Shri Krishna to bless us so that we can benefit from the insights which they have so wonderfully shared with us in their writings, in their teachings, basis which we will be covering the today's topic. So please join me in offering the prayers. You can also fold your hands. You can offer the prayers along with me. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratushe Namaha Namo Brahmane Devaya Go Brahmane Hitaya Cha Jagadhitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So there are many ways, there are many things which we can do to start the day well. But we will try to cover 3 of those many important ways. So in other words, there are many other things which can be done, which can be incorporated in a morning schedule. But we'll try to cover 3 of them today. Need not be the most important. The first aspect, which is very, very important for us to keep in mind to start the day on a good note. Many of us are very conscious of Shubha and Ashubha, auspiciousness and inauspiciousness. When people go for a walk, suddenly they find the cat passing the way, they stop. It is considered as inauspicious. Recently there was Dhanteras and I was told that in Jaipur there is one temple where lines and lines of people lined up with new cars wanting to get the prayers done. so that they can have an auspicious beginning with the new car. So everyone is concerned about Shubha and Ashubha. Our scriptures give us a very nice perspective of what is auspicious and what is inauspicious. In one sense, the so-called inauspiciousness in this world and so-called inauspiciousness, Shubha and Ashubha, our scriptures say it is, in one sense, manodharma. It's a mental concoction. We brandish something as Shubha and we label something as Ashubha. But according to scriptures, Shubha, the most auspicious, is that activity which brings us closer to Krishna or to God. That activity which makes us remember God. And what is Ashubha, what is inauspiciousness? That activity which takes us away from God, which makes us forget God. Even the so-called pious activity, if it makes us forget God or takes us away from God, it is Ashubha. So with this definition in mind, with this understanding in mind, with this perspective, the best way to start our day is engaging in spiritual activities, which takes us closer to Krishna. So one very, very important thing, in fact, the first thing which we should do, no doubt when we get up, we can always morning ablutions, washing our face, brushing our teeth. Immediately after that, we should offer prayers. In the morning, after taking bath, in all ISKCON temples, we have something called as the morning prayers, MANGAL ARATI. Generally, it happens at 4:15 a.m. In the description of this video today, I have shared with you a link where you can download 3 versions of this MANGAL ARATI prayers. Each one of you can also do this MANGAL ARATI prayers at your place. Just play the audio. It is very nicely done, keeping this purpose in mind. We have many folk hostels all over the city, in different cities in India and even outside, where young boys stay. And we use this audio. The audio is played, it is in a lead and follow method. It also has devotees who are playing mridanga, kartal. So you can softly play this audio and do the Mangal Arati. These prayers are glorifying the spiritual master Srila Prabhupada. That's the best way to start the day, where we offer our prayers to the spiritual master. If possible, you can also do a small arati. It could be as simple as offering some incense or offering a small lamp or offering some flowers. So there are 3 versions. One version is the full version, which is for about 37 minutes, depending on how much time you have in the morning, because everyone is differently placed with different schedules, with different commitments. So we have a full version which is 37 minutes, which has the Mangal Arati, which has Guru Puja, which has Tulsi Arati, which has Narasimha Puja, and ends with Kirtan. There's a shorter version which is for 19 minutes, in which the Guru Puja is not there, the Tulsi Puja is there, Narasimha Arati is there, and the Mangal Arati is there. And there's another version which is the Guru Puja and the Kirtan, which is for 12 minutes. Guru Puja is offering prayers to the lotus feet of the spiritual master. So you can download these prayers, the audios, it's an MP3 format, and you can use them to start the day by offering the Mangal Arati. I have also shared with you in the description below a link of the prayers which are there in the Bhagavatam of exalted devotees like Prahlad Maharaj, like Dhruva Maharaj, like Kunti Maharani, they are being nicely rendered and chanted by the devotees with some nice melodious background music, very soothing. You can also play these audios when you get up in the morning while you are getting ready for the work. You can play these audios, Purush Sukta prayers. You can have these players, it will create all auspiciousness in the home. It will create a very nice spiritual environment. And for sure, yes, after we do these prayers, we can do the most important prayer, which is chanting the holy names of the Lord. Chanting is also a prayer. And the prayer is, O Lord Shri Krishna, O energy of Krishna, please engage me in your service. Right now, we are engaged in service of Maya, service of our own mind, service of our own senses. We engage in the service of false masters. We cannot avoid service. And this Hare Krishna Mahamantra is prayer to Lord Shri Krishna and his energies to engage us in his seva, in his service. So we chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we offer these prayers, and to begin the day offering prayers, chanting the holy names of the Lord is the best way to start the day. In fact, the first thing we should try to do before we get caught up with our other duties, other responsibilities, we should do this most important duty. They're saying the most important thing apologies for the technical hitch. So, as I mentioned, the best way to start the day is to offer these prayers. And these prayers, I have shared the link with you. All of you can download and benefit from these prayers. I also mentioned that many times we offer prayers which is more of asking favors from the Lord. We all have some challenges which we are encountering in life, some difficulties, some rough phase, and the prayer is all about seeking the blessings of the Lord so that we can tide through those difficult times. The best is that we simply offer prayers glorifying the Lord, following the footsteps of the prayers which are offered by great devotees of the Lord. That's why it is best that we can take example, we can learn from the prayers which are mentioned in the SRIMAD Bhagavatam. Prahlad Maharaj is offering prayers, Bhishma is offering prayers, Dhruva Maharaj is offering prayers, Ambarish Maharaj is offering prayers, Gajendra is offering prayers, Kunti Maharani is offering prayers, and we can learn from such prayers as to what are the prayers which we should offer. What are the prayers which will please the Lord? What are the prayers which will bring us closer to the Lord? And when the Lord is pleased, all our material needs also are automatically taken care of. Lord is all-knowing. He is there in our heart. He is a well-wisher of the devotees. In fact, for everyone. Once there was a king who was going around in his kingdom in a procession. At times he would come down from the chariot and would walk for a while. And that particular day it was very hot, and he had very special shoes, embroidered shoes. And while he was walking, meeting people, he suddenly realized that one particular foot, it's getting heated and heat is permeating. The road was very hot and it was permeating through the sole of that shoe, and it was making him feel very uncomfortable. So he looked at his shoe and saw that the sole of that particular shoe had dropped off, one particular shoe, and that's why the heat was getting transferred to his leg and he was feeling very uncomfortable. So the minister who was accompanying him and many other people who were there with an umbrella on top of his head in his entourage, they stopped, and one of them removed the shoe and saw that the sole had fallen off. And now since they're quite at a far distance from the palace, they thought that it is best if you could somehow do some repairs. So they tried looking for a cobbler, and luckily they found a cobbler nearby. They rushed to him and gave him the shoe. In the meantime, they requested the king to be seated, and the cobbler quickly repaired the shoe and it was ready. So the minister asked him, the king was seated very close to that place. So the minister asked, how much should we pay for the repairs? So the cobbler said, no, I don't want anything. It's my good fortune that I could repair the shoes of the king. I got this opportunity. It's okay. But the king insisted, no, please take something. So the cobbler felt very embarrassed. He said, the king himself has come. It's a small opportunity. Just 2 paisa worth job he has done. He has just stitched something. How can he ask something from the king? So seeing that the king was insisting that he should take something, he told the king, Jo aapki ichha, whatever you want you can give. Jo aapki ichha. So the king looked at the minister and said, give him 2 villages. The cobbler could have asked the king, give me 2 annas, which according to him is a very big thing. But he said, whatever you fish, whatever you want, you can give. And the king gave him 2 villages. Much more than what he could have even dreamt of. So even the Lord, who is omnipotent, who is a well-wisher, He actually wants to give us some benediction which is much greater than which we seek out of ignorance. Because we don't know what is our real self-interest, what is our real good. And at times, out of ignorance, we ask for some petty things. So best is when we offer prayers, we keep it general. It should be more of glorifying the Lord, thanking the Lord, expressing our gratitude, and not be very specific. In fact, I have shared this in one of our earlier sessions. In case we get tempted to ask specific prayers, let's say throughout the year you have been preparing for an exam, a critical, important exam, and today is the day, the most important day where, it's a make or break day. If you clear the exam, it takes you to a next level. And it's very important for you to clear the exam. And you approach the Lord and pray to the Lord. If you are specific in offering prayers, a saving grace is we can ask the Lord after we have asked specific benediction, if you so desire. O Lord, if you so desire, let me pass this exam. Because the Lord is our well-wisher. Many times what we think is the best for us may not be the best for us. Maybe the Lord has higher plans, better plans, something better in store for us. So we don't be specific in our prayers. We follow in the footsteps of great devotees. We learn from the prayers what they have offered. I have also shared with you all a link in the description of this video. Some authorized prayers. In fact, there are 3 links. Some authorized prayer. One link, one PDF is a compilation of 21 authorized prayers from different authorized scriptures like Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, prayers to spiritual master, prayers to the Lord. So there are 21 prayers. So you can keep a printout with you and you can recite those prayers looking at the printout, and in due course of time, few days, you will be able to memorize those prayers, and then you don't have to have a printout. You can fold your hands and you can offer the prayers. You can offer the Sanskrit part of it, the shlokas, or you can even offer the translation, the meaning of that prayers. Best is if you can do both, the translation and the original prayer, the words. And if you find it difficult to pronounce the Sanskrit shlokas, you can just offer the translation part of it. There's a shorter version also, another PDF which has about 8 to 10 prayers, simple prayers, 2-line, 3-line prayers. You can also take a printout and use those as prayers which we can offer to the Lord. To sum up, the first point, the first aspect, start the day with prayer. We can, while we are getting up, while we're getting ready, we can always put the prayers which are playing as like Dhruva Maharaj prayers, Kunti Maharaj. I've shared with you the audio links. And once we are ready, we can fold our hands, go in front of the Lord and do a small arati. We can have the Mangal Arati audio track. We can offer that arati to the Lord. We can offer some prayers. I've shared authorized prayers, 21 prayers, or the shorter version of that. And when we offer these prayers, we'll get an idea of what kind of prayers we should offer. And after offering these prayers, the Mangal Arati, we can always offer the most important prayer, which is to chant the holy names of the Lord, to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So if we start the day with these prayers, remembering the Lord, thanking the Lord, expressing our gratitude to the Lord, glorifying the Lord will be with us throughout the day, helping us, guiding us, taking charge of us. So that is first thing which I would like all of you to consider and keep in mind when you plan the schedule as to how to start the day. The second aspect which I wanted to cover, which is again very, very important. In life, we will have good times, we will have bad times. We will come across good people, we will come across bad people, cruel people. Prabhupada gives an example. If you walk in a garden, typically you will find two kinds of flies or insect. One is the honeybee. It moves around in the garden, hovers around the flowers and collects the nectar from different flowers, goes flower to flower and connects the nectar. So that's the honeybee. In the same garden, there is another kind of fly, the housefly, which looks for filth and garbage in the garden and goes and hovers around it. Where is stool, where is filth, where is garbage, and you'll find that housefly, hovering around it. Now, in every garden, even if it is well maintained, there is some crap, there is some garbage, maybe in one corner, piled together. There's also some nice, beautiful, aromatic flowers blossoming. And there are two kinds of flies. The honeybee, which focuses on the aroma, the flowers which are blossoming, and there's another kind of fly which is this. So, while we are becoming devotees, it is very important that we have the right attitude. Our behavior is exemplary. Prabhupada said, people will judge me, people will judge your spiritual master seeing your behavior. So many times, by default, because of our upbringing or because of conditioning, we can have a very negative and outlook to life. We can be overly focused on what is not okay. We can be overly focused on the problems and challenges which I have to encounter in my spiritual life. And as a result, we can be always complaining, blaming, playing the victim card. So in the morning, I had also shared in the previous session that on an average day, an average person thinks 60,000 thoughts. And most of the thoughts are random and unnecessary. And they have also figured out that around 77%, on an average, 77% of the thoughts are negative and counterproductive. So in other words, we invariably, unless we proactively work on ourselves, we invariably have a tendency to get focused on what is not okay, what is some things which are negative, the challenges which we are going through. We get focused on that, and all the blessings, all the good things in life, we take it for granted. So the second principle, which is very, very important, which we should definitely try to cultivate, and the principle is attitude of gratitude. I repeat, attitude of gratitude. I'll tell you about my own life in the morning, my own schedule. In the morning when I get up, even before taking bath, I sit near the window, fresh air, and I have made list of wonderful things which Lord has blessed me in my life, and that list keeps expanding. For example, in my life, I am blessed to have Srila Prabhupada as my spiritual master. I am blessed to have opportunity to chant the holy names of Krishna daily. I am blessed to have the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and SRIMAD Bhagavatam. I am blessed to have nice prasadam to eat. There are a lot of people dying of starvation. They may have food to eat, but here I have opportunity to honor daily sanctified prasadam, which is offered to the Lord, the remnants of that food, which is spiritually uplifting. I am blessed to have that prasadam. I am blessed to have nice parents. I am blessed to live in association of devotees. I am blessed to have nice opportunity to grow in spiritual life. So I have listed down a lot of such points, because suddenly if you start thinking, you may forget something. So this list keeps expanding. If you develop an attitude of gratitude, you will always find there's so much more to be grateful for. The reverse is also true. If we get into a negative cycle, if we start complaining, blaming, playing the victim game, then we'll have more opportunities to play that game. So what I do is I sit near the window with fresh air in the morning, no disturbance. I take a deep breath, and while I hold the breath for about 30 seconds, I don't keep a track of how long it holds, as much as I can. I just make note of, I just read one point, it's written in a sheet of paper. I am blessed to have Srila Prabhupada as my spiritual master. So I hold the breath and I feel good about Srila Prabhupada as my spiritual master. I really feel that I am so blessed. I am so happy that I have Prabhupada as my spiritual master. So then I release. So in other words, two things are intertwined here. One is the pranayama, which says deep breathing, because it also oxygenates the blood. You feel completely charged because of that oxygen inflow. Your mind, you become so fresh, and simultaneously you are counting your blessings. You're developing the attitude of gratitude. If you do this for 10 minutes, you do day after day, you will feel so blessed. Even if there are some negative things happening in your life, the good things in your life which you are counting on a daily basis, count your blessings, it overrides because your attitude has overall taken a transformation. It has become an attitude of gratitude. You always start looking at the good things. You always start, instead of blaming the Lord, you always start thanking the Lord. So I do this, and this will gradually help build the attitude of gratitude. I'll read out few quotes of Srila Prabhupada. When faults in other misguide you, this is from Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura, who is the guru of Srila Prabhupada. When faults in other misguides you, we see faults in others. There are faults in people, faults in the environment around us, faults in the circumstances we are in. When faults in others misguide and delude you, have patience, introspect, and find fault in yourself. Know that others cannot harm you unless you harm yourself. The biggest victory which we can aim for, which we can achieve in life, is victory over our own selves. Victory over our minds, victory over our senses. That's why probably Jesus made this statement, what profit the man if he wins the whole world but loses his own soul? So the morning time is predominantly meant for winning over our own self, nourishing the soul, nourishing our mind, nourishing our intellect with spiritual insights, spiritual instruction, spiritual thoughts, reading Bhagavad Gita, reading SRIMAD Bhagavatam. Then Prabhupada says, look within, amend yourself rather than looking into the weaknesses of others. Now, as I told you, looking into weaknesses of others is our default mode. We have got conditioned, we have got habituated. It's difficult to change the conditioning. So that's why I'm saying cultivate the attitude of gratitude. Start seeing good in others. Then Prabhupada says, fault finding, which is another fault. The very act of fault finding itself is a fault. Just like the flies, they are finding out the sore, and the bees, they're finding out where there is honey. The two animals, they have got two different businesses. Fault finding and collecting the good things. There are two classes. Similarly, there are many people who are simply fault finding. So how do we change that mode, default mode? We all find faults, we all complain, we all blame. How do we change that mode? We change that mode by counting our blessings. I also saw in one of the videos, it is not just how we start our day well, how we begin, it's also how we end our day. How we end our day also has a bearing on how we start our day. Sometimes we are so tired, we just crash into our bed, don't end the day, don't offer the prayers, and just crash into the bed. Quite possible we will also start the day defeated or in a wrong way. So there's another video which I saw where a person is recommending that it is always good in the night before we take rest, we offer prayers, we thank the Lord, and we also count, we also try to recollect what are the three things which I should be grateful for, what I should thank Lord for, what has happened today. This arrangement happened, it was so nice. Although there could be many wrong things in the day, many things which were not very pleasant, but try to remember, recollect, or think of three good things which happened to you. And remember the Lord. One thing is we can just thank, be gratitude, but gratitude keeping the Lord in picture. It's because of Him. Today, because of Him, we got such nice prasadam feast. There was a festival, we got opportunity to do good, nice Kirtan, and we had nice prasadam feast. The Lord helped me with this wonderful article which I read, which was very enlightening, gave me very important insights about how to offer prayers. For example, if today you gather something from this video, from this talk, maybe you can end the day thanking the Lord. I got an opportunity to hear this nice talk in which I got wonderful insights how to start the day. So when we start counting our blessings, we gradually change our attitude to an attitude of gratitude. And when people see us, see our character, see our behavior, imagine we are talking about big things, but we're always complaining, brooding, feeling jealous, enviousness, hatred, talking negative, talking ill of others. People, it doesn't gel well. So this is the second aspect so I request if devotees can write in the live chat what are the 2 points or 2 principles which we have covered so far. It would be a reinforcement for all of us. And immediately after this, we will get into the Kirtans. We will play a Kirtan, request all the devotees to enthusiastically participate. So this is Krishan Kumar. End the day with gratitude, thanking the Lord by counting our blessings. Very good. Some of the good things which Lord has done for us. And start the day with prayers, with an attitude of gratitude, counting the blessings. You can make note of all the blessings which Lord has given in your life. There could be many negative things. There could be many challenges. But there are many good things also. I was giving one talk in one college, and then I told the people to write down things to be grateful for. I gave them some time. And people were finding it difficult to recollect, to think of things which they have to be grateful for. So after 3 minutes, 5 minutes, I asked them, how many of you have written? So one person said, I've just written one. He's not able to recollect what he should be grateful for. So then I told him, if you have nothing to be grateful for, at least be grateful for the air you're breathing. Be grateful for the water you're drinking. Be grateful that you have a roof on top of your head. There are many people who are homeless. There are many people who don't have food to eat. There are many people who don't have potable water to drink. They have to go 2 kilometers walking to fetch a pot of water. Rather than being grateful for so many wonderful things in our life, we brood, we complain, we blame over small petty things which are going wrong in our lives. So thank you very much for penning down the 2 points. Now we'll move to the Kirtan. We'll enthusiastically participate in the Kirtan and then come back and cover the 3rd point.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare
So, quick recap of what we have discussed so far. The first point we discussed was we start the day with prayers. I've shared the link in the description of this video where you can download 21 prayers which are compiled from Bhagavad Gita, SRIMAD Bhagavatam. You can offer these prayers directly. I've also shared with you the link for the Mangal ARATI prayers audio which you can play, and you can offer Mangal ARATI to the Lord, to Srila Prabhupada, prayers glorifying Guru. That's the best way to start the day. And also I have shared the link of the audios, some Kirtans which you can also download. Then the second point we shared was the attitude of gratitude. We end the day, three things, remembering, recollecting what three good things have happened to me today. What I am blessed with by the Lord today. Three things. We end the day, and in the morning we already have a list of things, what has happened to me, what I should be grateful for. I gave examples of having Srila Prabhupada, having an opportunity to read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, opportunity to chant the holy names of the Lord. So we can remember those things, and you can do it without breathing, or you can even do along with breathing so that you save some time. So that will help us cultivate the attitude of gratitude. And the third point, although we are today, this talk is about Gita life, I should be talking about something spiritual. I will end this talk with the third point, which is not necessarily spiritual, but it is very important. In the Bhagavad Gita, time and again we hear that we are not the body, we are spirit, soul. So many times people start neglecting their health, thinking that we are not the body. But Srila Prabhupada says, yes, we are not the body, but this body is a vehicle in which the soul is covering its journey. And hence, just like I am not the car, but car is important if I have to go from point A to point B. So I will take care of the car. So many times devotees who start practicing Krishna consciousness starts spending practically no time in exercising or going for a walk or taking care of the health, thinking that this is all material, this is all temporary. So the third point which I would like to say, which is very, very important for us, which is exercise daily. Exercise daily. It could be as simple as going for a 15 or 20 minutes of brisk walk. If you do that early in the morning, there will be fresh air. You can have an audio, you can be hearing some kirtans. I shared with you prayers of Dhruva Maharaj, Shukadev Goswami. You can be hearing those prayers, or you can be hearing some audio, Prabhupada lecture, or you could be hearing some kirtans. and go for a brisk walk or do some exercises, because healthy mind in a healthy body, the body has to be healthy. Many times we have seen that when we are not healthy, we are sick or diseased, we are not even able to do our chanting properly. Although when a person becomes purer or becomes a pure devotee, then irrespective of state of the body, his consciousness is aloof from the body. Like Prabhupada in this last days, although all the organs were failing, but his consciousness was pristine, pure, Krishna conscious. But right now in our present state, our health plays a very important role for us to even execute our spiritual activities. So I'll just read out a couple of quotes from Srila Prabhupada's teachings. We should not eat more than required. Eating, sleeping, mating, all these are material demands. The more we minimize, that is good, but not at the risk of health. Yes, even time we spend for the upkeep of the body, including exercise, we should minimize. Not that we go for a gym and 1.5 hours I'm working out. A lot of people do that. They're very health conscious, very fitness conscious. They go to the gym and do different kinds of weightlifting, different kind of bodybuilding to look good, spending 1.5 hours. We don't have to do that. We have limited time. Time is very precious. We have to avoid two extremes. Be overly attached to the body, taking overly, endeavoring too much to maintain this body. That's one extreme. And not taking care of the body, the basic needs, that also is wrong. So we should not minimize at the risk of health. Because we have to work for Krishna, this body is Krishna's. Knowing that this body is Krishna's, it is my seva to take care of this body. So we must maintain our health nicely. In one more place, Prabhupada says, keep your health in good condition and work very hard for Krishna. That is our motto of life. Take good care of your health and work hard for Krishna. Utilize all your energies, skills, talents, abilities to serve Krishna, to remember Krishna. This is our motto of life. So morning hours, many times people think I will do exercises in the evening. Morning time is ideal time. If we have spent even 15-20 minutes exercising, I'll share with you what I do so that you get an idea. So I have a list of they say exercises also are of different types. For example, one type of exercise is called stretching exercise. Another type of exercises which strengthens the muscles. Another type of exercises which is called cardiovascular exercises, which helps us heart pump the blood faster. So it is important that we do all kinds of exercises. Now we may not have so much of time that we can do all kinds of exercises every day. So I have a list of about 25 exercises. It could be Surya Namaskar, it could be planks, it could be simple push-ups. And I have a list. So every day about 20 minutes, I just do one particular exercise, put a tick mark next to it. Once the 25, every day it could be just 5 exercises. And then next day, next 5. Next day, next 5. So all the exercises are happening in rotation. So in other words, all the parts of the body are getting some bit of exercise. Otherwise, sometimes we realize suddenly my shoulders starts paining or legs starts paining because that particular muscles have never been exercised. Sometimes people just go for a walk and they may not do stretching exercises. So it's good that I'm not an expert in physical fitness, but I'm sure if you consult somebody or watch some videos, you will get an idea. There are 4 types of exercises. It's important that we incorporate some bit of them, of all 4 types in our schedule. Surya Namaskar is a very, very good exercise which takes care of most of these parts: strengthening, flexibility, stretching, and even cardio to some extent. Running, jogging, walking, brisk walking. And many of these things, fortunately, we can combine with hearing of some bhajans or hearing of some lecture. We can combine. That's not the best option, but knowing that all of us have paucity of time, especially on weekdays, we have to rush to our office, we have household chores to take care of. So we can try to combine few things, like going for a brisk walk and you have 30 minutes of walk and you have heard one lecture of Prabhupada. That's a good way of, combining the two activities. While we are doing exercise for 20 minutes, we play some kirtans and we can keep humming and keep, participating in kirtan also. So this is the third point: exercise regularly. If it is difficult to exercise daily, at least 3 times in a week or 4 times in a week, we can try to exercise. And once we have done our exercises well, if our body is fit, we will also be energetic in doing our spiritual activities, in chanting, in hearing. Otherwise, quite possible during chanting we feel lazy, quite possible during chanting we may feel sleepy, because body is not cooperating, body is not healthy. So we also, one more thing for us to start the day well, as I mentioned earlier, it is important that we end the day well. It's important that we eat very light in the evening. Try to finish the dinner by 6:37, ideally before sunset, so that when we sleep, we have a light stomach and we get good rest, we recuperate fast, and morning when we get up, we are fresh, we are energetic, and we can start the day well with some of the things which I have shared with you today. So these are the 3 points. I'm sure some of you can put in the live chat the third point. It's a very simple thing. It may not be very spiritual, but yes, it is very, very important. And many times devotees, in the name of spirituality, in the name of, yes, I'm not the body, I'm a spirit soul, they neglect the health, neglect exercise. Many times people say, I was exercising earlier, I used to go for walk earlier, but now because I'm chanting, I don't get time. So we should find time. Where there is a will, there is a way. It is possible to incorporate all the spiritual activities and also not neglect our health. So exercise daily, and in case it's difficult to exercise daily, schedule is very tight in the morning, we can do thrice a week. We can do on weekends for sure. So we'll take up some questions. This question is from Abhishek Kumar. I am reading Srila Prabhupada's books, but after some time I forget those things. What to do, Prabhuji, to keep the teachings of Prabhupada in mind for a long time? Please help, Prabhu. When we read Prabhupada books, our effort should be that we should associate with Vani of Prabhupada. We should understand what Prabhupada is conveying. It is good if we can remember what we have read, but it is not mandatory. It is not essential. In other words, if we do not remember what I read yesterday, if I am not able to recollect, that does not mean that what I read yesterday was a waste. For example, I don't remember what I ate in breakfast day before yesterday, but still what I ate has benefited my mind-body system. So likewise, today I am speaking to all of you. Some of the points I would have read maybe a year back. Some of the points I would have read in some conversation of Prabhupada about 6 months back. Today, while I am talking, if I have to give some example, if I have to quote some Prabhupada's teachings, I am able to do that because I have read some time back. If somebody asks you, why are you chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra? I'm sure you will have an answer. It's a Mahamantra. It is the most powerful mantra recommended in this age. Someday, somewhere, in some book, you have heard, you have read, and that's why you're able to give an answer. So we should not feel dejected if we do not remember what we have read. And also we should keep in mind, reading Srila Prabhupada's books or reading Bhagavad Gita is service to the Lord. It is not an intellectual pursuit. Many times, we want to gather and lord over knowledge. We are serving the Lord by giving our time, our attention to understand what the Lord has said for us. I'll give you another example. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited South India, there was one Brahmin whom Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came across. He was reading Bhagavad Gita, and many of the Pandits, other Brahmins, were making fun of him. They were laughing at him. And why they were laughing? Why they were mocking at him? Because he was illiterate. This particular Brahmin was illiterate. He had never studied, gone to the school. But he was holding the Bhagavad Gita upside down, ulta. And he was trying to read. And other Pandits, knowing that he doesn't even know what is the right side up, they were laughing at him, they were making fun of him. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw him sincerely trying to read Bhagavad Gita, he approached this Brahmin and said, "What are you doing?" He said, "I am trying to read Bhagavad Gita. My Guru Maharaj has asked me to read Bhagavad Gita daily. I am trying to sincerely follow his order." So, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, "Why are they laughing?" So he said, "Maybe because they know that I am illiterate, I am not as educated as them, therefore they are making fun of me." And so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, "But I see that you are crying. Why are you crying? If you are illiterate, you are not able to read Bhagavad Gita, why are you crying?" So then the Brahmin said that, "I am crying when I see this picture of Krishna as Parthasarthi holding the reins of the chariot, being a chariot driver to Arjuna for his devotee. The Lord is so kind, so merciful for his devotees that he has taken a menial position of being a chariot driver. When I see this, when I look at this picture, I can't help but not to cry." So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Factually, you have understood the Bhagavad Gita." So in other words, reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam is not an intellectual pursuit. No doubt, if we can remember, the main thing is not to be a big scholar, big Pandit. I can verbatim recollect every verse which I have read. I can quote the shlokas. That is good if it can happen, but it is not the must. It's not the main thing. The main thing is to serve the Lord by associating with His Vani, with His teachings. The very fact that half an hour, 1 hour we are spending reading the Bhagavad Gita itself is a seva to the Lord. The Lord is pleased and He will give us His blessings. So let us not get into a mood that I do not remember. Even if you do not remember, continue reading. Some striking thing. Another thing is very important for us to know, that yes, 100 things which you may read may not strike you, may not hit you, but one thing you read can completely change the perspective, can completely change the paradigm, can bring about a big transformation in your outlook to life. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Kahe, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoye. One right instruction at the right time can bring about a big change in your life. Therefore, they say that if you have to break a stone, you hit it one time, nothing happens. You hit it second time, nothing happens. Hit it 18th time, nothing happens. Hit the 20th time, nothing happens. 21st time you hit, it breaks. That does not mean that all the 20 hits were of no use. Quite possible someday you are reading, You might not find anything which is relevant to you, something which resonates with you, something which enlightens you. Keep doing it. But one day you may read something which will completely transform you and change your perspective for good. So let's be patient. Let's do it as a matter of seva. Let us do it as a matter of obedience to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, I have not written these books just to sell and make money. I have written this book so that you can read and benefit from it. So Prabhupada was asked, what will please you the most? So Prabhupada said, if you become a lover of Krishna, if you become a lover of God, that will please me the most. So Srila Prabhupada books are very potent, very powerful, and if we associate with Srila Prabhupada by reading his books regularly, we also develop that love for Krishna. Sangat sanjayate kama. The next question is from Archie. Due to work schedule, could full meal items be offered early morning around 5 a.m. at home instead of light items? Yes, we can offer some bit of, like in temple we have a regulated schedule, fixed offering times, but in home we can always customize. We may not be able to rigidly follow the standards what is followed in the temple. So if you have to go for work, you can always offer the full meal early morning and you can. Lord understands the circumstances. He is Bhavagrahi Janardana. He is wanting our love, our devotion. That's the main thing. Also, could the offering be consumed in the lunch or night? Yes. Generally, it is said that food becomes stale, or rather it becomes tamasic after 3 hours of cooking. But when it is prasadam, it is sanctified, it is offered to the Lord, it is considered pure, it is considered transcendental. This question is from Poonam Garg. Is it possible that we can chant during walk? It's a very good question. Many people ask it. Although I mentioned we can hear a lecture while walking. First thing is, let's understand this very nicely, clearly. It's very important for us. Otherwise, many times people will be going for a 1 hour walk and doing most of their chanting while walking. In spiritual activity, it is the best if we can do it with all attention, with single-mindedness, that activity alone. In other words, when I am hearing, I hear alone. When I am chanting, I chant only. Not do 3 things at a time. Reading newspaper, hearing a kirtan and also chanting. The best is if we can do 1 thing at a time. If I am chanting, I just focus on chanting attentively. If I am hearing, I just hear with all attention, the lecture sitting in one place. That's the best. Knowing that we all live in a world, it's a very, more so in a city like Mumbai, if you are working, you have many household things to catch up with, you have rounds to catch up with, you also have to cook, you also have to go to the office at 8:30 a.m. Many times it may not be possible to do all these things 1 thing at a time. You may not have luxury to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, finish everything by 8 o'clock and then go. If you do that, quite possible we'll feel very tired, groggy and sleeping in the afternoon. So, better than not doing, better than not chanting, better than not finding time for hearing Prabhupada's lecture is that you can try combining 2. It is better than not doing, but it is not the best. I repeat, the best is if you do it exclusively. Chanting means sitting in one place with full concentration, with full attention, chanting our rounds. That's the best. But assuming that you don't have that luxury where 1 hour, 2 hours you can chant exclusively, then some rounds, 4 rounds, you can chant while you are gone for walk. So that way exercise also happens and you are able to do 4 rounds also. But as I said, the catch is not all rounds should be done like that. Many times people, yes, I am chanting 16 rounds, but most of the time I am chanting while traveling in a local train. That's not the good thing. Some rounds we should chant with exclusive attention. I'll give you an example. Suppose I visit somebody's place, somebody's home, and that person, welcomes us, makes us seated, and then gives us a magazine or a newspaper. Swamiji, please read that. I have something to catch up with. I'll come and join you. And goes to the kitchen and does some bit of cooking. And then again comes back and talks something. Again, goes back to the room and catches up with some household work, and again come back. I might not feel very good because the person is not giving undivided attention. Compare this to a scenario of you have gone to somebody's house and the person sets aside all other work and sits with you, gives quality attention to what you are speaking, gives quality time to you. You feel so good about it. Same way, Lord has come in the form of His holy name. It's an opportunity for us to associate with the Lord, touch with the Lord. And the best thing we can do is give full attention and do this activity exclusively. But the next best is we can do it while we are walking. And that's better than not doing it. So let's have this gradation. Krishna also in the 12th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, if you cannot do this, do this. If you cannot do this, do this. Cannot do this, do this. Better than not doing is do something. Something is better than nothing. That's the principle. This question is from Sunita. Can we walk while doing japa? Does this count as exercise? I answered this question. Yes, it can count as exercise. Obviously, when you're walking, the heart is pumping and it's some kind of exercise. But the japa quality may not be the best. How much blessings you can get from the Lord, how much mercy you can get from the Lord by giving exclusive time to the Lord, chanting only, that much benefit you may not get when you are trying to combine 2 or 3 activities together. So keep that in mind and see what your circumstances are and then plan accordingly. Better than not going for walk at all, better than not chanting at all, you can try to chant while going for a walk. This question is from Manjana Kanakpura. Exercise indoor, outdoor, which is best? Depends the circumstances you are in. If you have a nice lawn, nice garden, you can do it outdoors. It's always good with fresh air. But even if we don't have a good lawn, good garden, we can do it indoors also. Keep the windows open so that there's fresh air. Morning time, the air is fresh. You can do the exercises. Main thing is to exercise. Best if we can do outdoors. Best if we can go for a walk. These days people can't run outside, so sometimes people do treadmill. It's better than not doing it. This question is from Shiva Kumar. What is the ideal time for a Grihastha to wake up in the morning in order to execute all the 3 principles? Could you please suggest? It is very difficult to pinpoint and say that ideal time is at 4 o'clock. Depends on your schedule, depend what time you have to go to the office. Depends what is your commitment to spiritual activities, how many rounds you are chanting. Some of us may be chanting 4 rounds, somebody may be chanting 8 rounds, somebody is chanting 16 rounds. They all are Grihasthas practicing Krishna consciousness. Some people do Mangal Arati every day. So depending on what level of Krishna consciousness you are practicing, and depending on your schedule, what time you have to leave for your office, you can work backwards and plan your day. For example, since you have asked this question, let's say you have to leave for office at 9 a.m. or log in or catch up with your office work at 9 a.m. These days people have the luxury of working from home also. So let's say if you have to work backwards from 9 a.m. you have to start your office work, then you know that your chanting will take about 1 hour, your exercise will take about 20 minutes, your reading will take 15 minutes, your Mangal Arati and all these things will take about, breakfast will take this thing, taking bath and all will take 15 minutes. All put together, it may take you about 3 hours, all put together. So then for you to incorporate all of them in your schedule, since you have to start your day at 9 o'clock, you can plan to get up latest by 6 a.m. The best would be if you can make the best use of the Brahma Muhurta time, which I said is about 92 minutes, 96 minutes before sunrise. Every place there's a different time for sunrise. So 2 muhurtas before the sunrise. Each muhurta is for 48 minutes. It's called the Brahma Muhurta. Best if you can utilize that time. It is also very conducive for spiritual activities. This question is from Sudhanshu Kumar. Why do we serve the Lord? It is said that the dharma of a jiva is to serve. If we do not serve the Lord, we have to serve someone. Just like somebody may say, I don't serve the Lord. Why I should serve the Lord? Even that person is doing some service, is serving someone. And whom is serving? He is serving illusory master. He is serving his own senses. He is serving the dictates of his mind. The senses are saying, eat this, see this, drink this, go here, go there. And he is saying, yes sir, yes sir. Although we may not verbalize it, but we are serving our senses, we are serving our mind, we are serving false masters. So our scripture is saying our constitutional position is to serve the Lord. Even chanting is basically a prayer, oh Lord, please engage me in your service. So therefore we serve the Lord because that's our true position. This question is from Sumati Siddharth. Unable to pronounce the prayers in Sanskrit or English, is this not very wrong? If we are unable to pronounce, please understand the spirit. Krishna is interested more in our bhava, in our love, in our devotion. If we can chant with proper pronunciation, it is good, but if for some reason a person does not know how to pronounce in Sanskrit or does not know English, still if we can understand the essence and offer the prayers in his own word, in simple language, own language, that is also fine. Just like a son talks to his father, he need not be very eloquent to communicate to his father. So long as he is able to talk to his father with respect, with obedience, it's fine. So we don't have to worry too much if we are not very, learned, we cannot pronounce the Sanskrit mantras or read English. We just understand the essence of the prayer, somebody can explain and we can offer it in our own words. This question is from Manjunath Sugurmat. I drive 2 hours daily. Is it okay to chant wearing shoes while driving? Please guide me. Yes, it's perfectly okay. In fact, that's why it is called Maha Mantra. It is very liberal. There is no hard and fast rule. Even in a crematorium, a person can chant. Even women during their periods can chant. When there's a death in the family, generally spiritual activities are forbidden. But even during that time, we can chant. And there is no hard and fast rule. Even without taking a bath, someday you are sick, you have not taken a bath, you can chant. So if you're driving, you're having your shoes with you, you can chant. No hard and fast rule. You're in the bathroom taking bath, you can chant. That's perfectly fine. That's why it is also called Maha Mantra. There's no hard and fast rule. This question is from Abhishek Kar. Is attending Gita live session also service to the Lord? Yes. Serving the Lord predominantly can be of 9 types. Navavidha Bhakti. And Shravanam, hearing about the Lord, is also a form of bhakti. Kirtanam, chanting the glories of the Lord, is also serving the Lord. Offering prayers to the Lord is also service of the Lord, service to the Lord. Worshipping the Lord, remembering the Lord, chanting His holy names, physically serving the Lord, engaging in some seva, all these are different forms in which we can serve the Lord. This question is from Sumati Siddharth. Even while doing the prayers, my mind is wandering unwantedly. What can be done, Guruji? If the mind is wandering, with whatever circumstances we are in, whatever situation we are in, we try to do the best we can. For example, if a person is earning, let's say, 5,000 rupees a month, let's say, the Lord is interested that we offer something to Him. If with love and devotion He offers 5 rupees, the Lord understands what He is sacrificing, in what circumstances He is sacrificing. That offering of 5 rupees is more dear to the Lord than someone offering 100 rupees and is earning 1,00,000 of rupees. So, if the mind is wandering, still we are striving, still we are trying our best in that circumstances, in that situation, to remember the Lord, to think of the Lord, to chant the names of the Lord gives us the credit. He is not seeing what you are offering, He is also taking into account in what circumstances you are offering. What is your situation? How much you have in your pocket basis which you are offering something? How much is everyone's mind-body system based on kala, karma, guna is in different situation. So the Lord is interested in how much sacrifice, how much we are trying to please Him. That is more important. So please do not worry about, try your best. Make the best use of the bad bargain. This question is from Anay Singh. While chanting, why do we chant 108 times for a single round? In one sense, we can chant without keeping a count, because chanting of the holy names is all auspicious. In fact, Kirtaniya Sadahari, we should always chant the names of the Lord. But to tame the mind, so that the mind does not cheat us, we take a commitment, and come what may, we follow the commitment. For example, we make a commitment that come what may, from today onwards, I'll be chanting 4 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra daily. There will be some days where you may not be in a good mood. The mind will say, no, today it's not a good mood. You have so much work to catch up with. You're getting late for the office. Maybe you'll do it tomorrow. The mind will try to cheat. So, when we count and chant and take a commitment that I will chant 4 rounds every day, it tames our mind, it disciplines our mind. Come what may, I will do it. In management, there's a saying, what gets measured gets done. So we measure, we take a commitment that I will chant 4 rounds every day, I'll chant 16 rounds every day, and we do it irrespective of circumstances. It disciplines the mind, it tames the mind. That is one thing. The next question is, why 108 times? Because 108, for many reasons, is a very, very auspicious number. Therefore, the world over, including other religions, the rosary beads many times have 108 beads. 108 holy rivers, 108 Puranas. There are many reasons by which, when you count these digits, it adds up to 9, which is an auspicious number. So for many reasons, the mala has 108 beads. The main principle is to count and chant, so that we discipline our mind. We don't go by the whims of the mind. Aaj man nahi hai. Aaj, I'm feeling very lazy. I don't have time. We do it come what may. That is the main reason why we count and chant. And when we are counting, 108 is a very, very special and auspicious number. So thank you very much for joining us today for the Gita Live session. Look forward to have all of you again with us next Sunday, same time, 4:30 p.m. Hare Krishna.